welcome to this week's Race Kiki with Jonathan Lee. I'm Jonathan Lee. How are you? Hope you're doing amazing, and thanks for coming back. This week's episode is with my incredible friend, Felony Misdemeanor. That's right, the legendary, the lovely, the talented, the hilarious 420 Queen, Felony Misdemeanor of Denver, Colorado, and El Paso. We talk love, life, and race. I hope you enjoy. It's real funny. It's a little long, and stick in there. It's delicious. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Oh, well, I hope this is the most of your symptoms that you get and that you get a speedy recovery.
Yeah, if something happens, I'll just run off to the hospital and they'll, put a patch on her and send her back out in the world.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I have too much to do right now to fall out.
Good.
There's too much to do.
No, I feel you. I don't have enough to do.
I doubt that. So,
No, trust me.
Felony,
Yes, sir.
I would like to welcome you to Race Kiki's with Jonathan Lee.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Lee, Mr. Jonathan Lee. Long time no see.
Long time now. How you been?
I've been well. I've been well, surprisingly. Yeah, I feel I was raised well to be, strong in times like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Black people as a whole were raised a bit different to be a little stronger. That's my
Well,
race.
a lot of us have been raised in a struggle. No matter what that struggle is, we've been raised in a struggle. Even
Yes.
if we've had the entire world handed to us, there's still a struggle attached to it somewhere.
Oh God, yes, totally, totally.
Mm-hmm.
How have you been?
I've been awesome. Honestly, this last year with the shutdown, it
Hmm.
allowed me to reevaluate my life and think about what I was doing in relation to the good of the world, if I was doing something frivolous or not, and I felt like I was, so I stopped.
Okay.
I felt like not that style and fashion, those are very important things.
Very
But
much, Jonathan.
I feel like my passions are better served trying to make the world a more normal place for conversations about race
Okay,
and trying to dissect how we got here so we can figure out how we get past it.
I'm into that.
Yeah,
And
we're around the same age, so happy birthday, by the way.
thank you,
What
thank
did
you.
you do?
I smoked a lot of marijuana,
Mm-hmm.
but I that's just
That's just
ends in the
everyday.
day. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But more so than normal.
Okay.
And I had a wonderful dinner with a great group of friends. There was about 12, 13 of us. We went and had a giant Korean barbecue feast.
How are what are the restrictions like in Colorado?
They're still, Colorado is. Hey, sorry, my dog's here. Colorado is still pretty good about adhering to the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I think restaurants are at 50% capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But we had our own little, I guess, party room, so which made it a little easier for us to get together as a
Mm-hmm.
group
Mm-hmm.
and have a good time.
I
Plus, they also
can't.
have those vents, so I feel like it helps everything.
Do you still perform around town during all of this?
I do. I actually have a show this coming Friday, Saturday. Two shows Saturday.
It's
Saturday
that
brunch.
it's brunch. I saw the flyer for it.
Yeah, Saturday brunch with Jessica, and then I also have Saturday night show at X Bar with my drag daughter.
Oh, wow. Very
Hmm.
busy.
Yeah, I prefer shows in one day versus a couple days. I just knock them all out and then
Mm-hmm.
rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm old now. I can't be doing it
Can't
24/7.
I know. So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Well, I can, but they're not paying me enough.
Well, if they're not paying you, why do it?
Yes.
I feel like you're past the point where you just put face on to walk around.
Oh, me? Shoot, my face is, but you see me wake up with panicking. That's my face.
So I have a question.
Sure. What's up?
When did you learn about race?
I'm still learning. In all actuality, I'm still learning. Because I feel it's always a learning experience, especially as a black person. But as far as race goes, and me
Mm-hmm.
knowing that it's, I don't want to say black versus white, but that's what we grew up with. I was definitely in elementary school. Because I was called a nigger. I'm not gonna say the N word. I was being what it is. I
Mm-hmm.
was called a nigger, and maybe at the time I didn't know what it was, but I knew it wasn't a good word.
Mm-hmm.
And until I brought it up to a family member, and they told me. But yeah, definitely in elementary school. So it started very young. You know, growing up I'm born in 1975, so growing up in the 80s, things are the same, but they were different. As,
Where did
as
you
far
grow up?
I grew up in El Paso, Texas. Yes, El Paso, Texas is predominantly Hispanic or Latino.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
last I checked, it was 83%. But even though that still doesn't change the fact that I was called a nigger, and it was by a white person. Like, yeah, yeah, still called a nigger. By at an elementary school, sixth grade, maybe even seventh grade. I don't know how old I was, but I
Mm-hmm.
was old enough to know that it was not right, and it's been like that pretty much ever since. I guess we learn at a young age, black people, what race is versus white people knows what race is.
Because we're always, do you think it's because we're taught how to survive?
Definitely. Our parents, I'm going to take you with me, take my dog outside. Yes, our parents and grandparents, especially. Come on, let's go. Um, were definitely survivors, and I don't want to say it's a recessive gene because they definitely do pass it down if they're raising us right.
Mm-hmm.
They will pass it down to us, this survival gene that we have, as
Mm-hmm.
black people. It's Yeah, we have to fight for survival, and now I think it's just in us to fight and survive no matter what the situation is.
How does that how does that shape the way you look at race now?
Well, now that I'm a older black man, and still keep me aware of what the hell is happening, but still, like I said, everything is a learning experience. I had a learning experience the other day that I guess we could get into later. But looking at it now as a grown man, it's sad because growing up a little black boy, or black person, but non-binary, black person, um, I didn't see all uh, the microtransgressions and all the things that were done to me, said to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like growing up, I didn't know that when people wanted to touch my hair, like, hey, I didn't know that that's it's a form of racism,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
the older, the older me now wish I could tell the younger person, my younger self,
Some
to like,
things.
hey, this is so
Mm-hmm.
many things, and it would have saved me a whole lot of pain and heartache, and a lot of breath, because I've fought before many times, and I won't fight now unless it's absolutely necessary over the word, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's people are now just assholes. But anyway, my younger self definitely was a fighter over the word. If I grew up in the time of the Black Panthers, I
Mm-hmm.
definitely probably would have been one. But I also haven't always been this way. Um, because I do have some sort of privilege being a lighter skinned person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I went to an all black college, and so it was they made it aware that I'm a lighter skin.
Mm-hmm.
I was called high yellow, red bone, yellow bone. But so I'm going everywhere with this. But yeah, as a black man today now, I would tell the younger self, my younger me, even the college self, that to I guess I hate to say, but take things in stride. Um, Maybe not take things as personal, because those people are just fucking assholes.
Really?
Yes, and these assholes are gonna be assholes,
Uh-huh.
and so are gonna be, yes, fight, but yes, take it personal, but also at the same time kind of forgive them, and because they weren't raised right.
Mm, okay. Okay. That's a school of thought. I that works for you because
No, it's not.
what happened the other day?
uh, well, it's still a very touchy subject, but I was having dinner with a really good friend of mine and his husband,
Mm-hmm.
and the subject of race had come up before, with because it does come up, especially nowadays. It's a
Mm-hmm.
touchy subject, but maybe not for black people. I don't think it was a touchy subject for me, because again, I've experienced most things that
Mm-hmm.
my white friends who were sitting across from me did not. So I did say something along the lines of white people shit. I did say, quote unquote, white people shit. My friend to my left, who I've known for 20 years, whatever, understands what white people shit is. We
Mm-hmm.
all know what white
White
people
people
shit
shit
is.
is. Yes.
And homeboy got offended. I'm offended. I said, "You're offended?" And I got offended and then upset, because he was offended that I was telling him about white people shit that has been
Mm-hmm.
done to me. I was like saying every fucking white person, but
Mm-hmm.
see, he thought I was putting every white person in the same box. You know how they do us.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
he was
That's
that.
projection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is classic projection because if I'm bringing some shit up that other white people have done and you just so happen to be white and you feel a certain kind of way, if you're feeling attacked, that means that you, my friend, have been guilty of those offenses as well.
I kind of told him, like, is well, I didn't tell. My voice is raised. I talk at a volume level of like a 3. I'm very soft spoken.
Mm-hmm.
I have to find myself to speak up just so people can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was passionate, so my voice raised, an octave or two,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, we're always looked at. Oh, I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm yelling. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, angry
Mm-hmm.
black person.
Mm-hmm.
And they were more upset that the fact that they were embarrassed that I was raising my voice versus the fact of what was really being said. So I was trying to say, hey, you guys, you're yelling. I said, I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm raising my voice. Well, you're pointing. I said, well, this is how I talk. I'm not pointing at you. I didn't say you. I didn't say you. I said white people shit. And I said, what white people shit? They have white people shit on TV. They have white people talk about white people shit. So don't get mad at me when I say white people shit. But he got mad at me, and I tried to explain to him, but he wasn't having it. And just wasn't having it. So big argument ensued on his part. And the worst part was they had taken me out for my birthday dinner. And they left me at the restaurant because I raised my voice at I raised my voice. But yeah, never mind the fact that I was upset that I was telling them about the shit that white people have done. I'm like, this is a perfect fucking example.
It's a perfect example because everything that happened sounds like textbook white fragility.
Yes.
That is textbook, because if it happened to be, generally speaking, I don't want to make generally speaking, if that had have been two white women, that the action would have played off in tears. There would be tears.
Oh God.
But with men, it's policing your tone. It is playing the devil's advocate.
Yes.
It is justifying someone else's actions. It is telling you to look at it through a different perspective, having not looked at it through your own. So it's all of these classic things, and that's harsh. That is really harsh.
It is, because you nailed it. They did, to try to police my attitude, like I'm too loud, tone it down. And also then they brought up the example, well, what if we said that to you? I'm like, well, that's been said to me. It's been said to me, and it's still being said to me. Black people. Well, we said black people said, that they still fucking say that. You know what I mean?
I know, but how frequently do you hear the word urban or ghetto?
Every fucking time.
And those are code words for black.
Black, yes, I know. Yeah.
Those are code words for the N-word.
Yeah.
That's what those are code words for.
Urban music. No, that's black people music. God damn it. It's music sung by a black person. You won't see
hip hop clothes or something like that.
You won't see.
It's coded language, and it's do you get that frequently? Because I know that when I was in Colorado, I was a safe, sassy gay. You remember?
Oh yeah.
Sassy, pretty.
Because you speak well. You're very approachable. He's not black because he speaks well and he dresses a certain way. Yeah.
Oh, Jonathan, I'm blacker than you are. All of these things. But when something is said that when white people shit is thrown at me, oh my God, can I touch your hair? Oh, you don't even sound black. Oh my God.
Yes.
Where did you grow up? Oh, where are you really from? And when I call that out and I speak with passion, why are you getting so mad? Why are you yelling at me?
Yeah. We're the bad guy.
How do you navigate through that?
It's very difficult because I'm a passionate person, by nature. And when I feel like I'm not getting heard, that's when I get more passionate, and then that's when I'm really looked at as crazy. Victimization comes into play. Like he was definitely the victim. I asked, I said, what is he getting offended for? Because he stormed out first, and then my other friend's like, I don't know, but you're still gonna fucking defend him? Yeah, I get it. He's your husband, but you got to draw a line. Got to know when what's right is right and when what's wrong is wrong. I don't care. I understand he's your husband, but I don't care. It's
What
Is
if what was an example of some of the white people shit that you were sharing at the table?
shit.
That
What
may have
wasn't I
set.
sharing? That I don't know what set him off because I have been talking about it. I have been talking about it for everything about
Mhm, mhm,
how I've been treated, how I've been treated, how I've been treated. But it was the moment that I said white people shit is what got him mad. That was the honestly the moment is when I said white people shit. Oh, I'm sick of white people shit, and that's when he got clenched his pearls and like and got fucking pissed. So I'm thinking he was just I yes, I don't know what I said besides white people shit that offended him. Because everything that I said to him has been truthful.
mhm,
I was told him how I was had jobs taken from me, it was given to someone else who was less qualified, but they were white. I even in the gay community, had drag opportunities taken away from me, but they were
mhm,
given to a white person. I'm like, this
mhm,
person, you don't even know this white person. This white person's been here for 6 months, and
mhm.
I've been in this show for 7 years.
Right? And when you point out these things, did he ever call you a victim?
No, he didn't call
Okay.
me a victim.
Okay.
No, he better not. Yeah, he better not. If he wanted to see me yell, I could yell because I'll be honest. Okay, it was with my best friend, and if he's watching, I'm sorry, Sam. I love you, but we have issues to talk about.
Mhm,
Anyway, if you're watching, I'm looking right at you, Sam.
mhm,
We
mhm.
have issues, and I love you, but we have issues. Um, I
That's
forgot.
hard.
Yeah, my
That's
best
hard.
friend, 20 plus years, and for his husband to, and see, the thing is, I had this conversation with his husband before. I had tried to get to know him before they got married. Hey, he's gonna marry my best friend. Let me go out with this dude to find out who he is.
Mhm,
Yada
mhm.
yada. This was years ago, but I remember he compared slavery to something, some bullshit. I don't remember what bullshit it was, but excuse me, he compared fucking slavery to something, and I said no, no, and then he was like, yeah, I tried to justify, and I was like, no, you can't compare this bullshit to slavery
Right.
at all. And that's, of course, then that's when I raised my voice. And that's when, so we've, ever since then, he's, I guess, had an issue with me because, I had that with him. But they also brought up the fact, oh, well, my best friends are black. Yeah, exactly. I said that doesn't mean shit.
That doesn't mean
That doesn't
anything.
mean anything.
We are
You
not a
got
monolith.
black.
We are not
Yeah.
all the same. You don't know
Nah.
who his best friend is. You don't know where he or she came from.
Oh, I met them. Yeah, they're black, but also at the same time, they're as you would call safe.
They're what?
Safe, as you said earlier, they're
Oh,
safe.
safe. Safe.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So, which is fine, but still, they're black, and I wonder if he's actually had the race conversation with his black friends, because then maybe he wouldn't get offended as easy when I say white people shit.
It's a hard conversation to. I'm finding that a lot of people really want to have the conversation. They just don't know how to start the conversation.
Yeah,
And
or
what I'm also finding, a couple weeks ago, I had a conversation with my straight white friend, Corey,
uh,
and I asked him what was it, what he thought it was about, and he made a really beautiful point. Um, if if he didn't have to, he could fashion his life where the only black he wouldn't have to see a black person if he didn't want to.
Oh, it's totally doable.
Yeah.
Totally doable.
So having that conversation doesn't seem beneficial in his head, in the mind, in somebody's mind,
Yes.
in the average white guy's mind, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just because yeah. Sorry, I was getting my dog. Hush. It is a touchy subject, but I think it's more of a touchy subject for white people versus black people.
Yeah, because this is a conversation we've been having our entire life.
As children, yes. Yes, with our parents.
And then when we get out into the world and we realize that when we're just walking around recreationally while black, we are stopped, we are followed, we are questioned.
Yes.
I used to think it was so funny that every time I walked into a store, no matter what store I was in, someone would always come and ask me to help them.
Yes.
And I thought it was so funny until I took a step back and realized what was happening.
Yeah,
you can't see me. You can't see me recreationally while black, so I must be working.
Yeah.
I can't have a reason to be in this store other than to work.
He can't afford this.
I can't afford whatever this is, so obviously I work here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's like it's no joke. It is. Mm-hmm. Even if clearly I don't work here, by the way.
I'm wearing a coat. I have a gloves on. I'm wearing earmuffs, and you're
headphones.
All like, do you work here? No, bitch, I don't work here. I'm shopping just like you are.
Yeah, I'm like, look at me. I see this shit in my hand. I have a shopping bag in this arm.
Well, I thought you were doing some go backs.
Yeah.
It has happened at Target. It's happened at Bloomingdale's. At one point I did work at Bloomingdale's, but that's neither here nor there.
But that's not the point.
I don't work there anymore. And if I'm in there right now, don't ask me to help you with shit, because I'm in there for myself buying quality clothes at an interesting price.
Yes. Yeah. I like that. I'm gonna have to steal that. Yeah, I'm like that with the fragrances. I buy quality fragrances at an
interesting price. Yes. You're welcome.
But yeah, so yeah, like a perfect example, when I'm looking for my quality fragrance, it's kind of the opposite. They don't want to help me. No one wants to help me because, like, okay, well, first of all, I'm not dressed like a person who shops in Neiman Marcus or someone who shops in Nordstrom. When I go shopping, I like to be comfortable. So, I might not dress like I have thousands of dollars, but goddamn it, I smell like it. So help me out.
I have money. I would love to give you some. There have been times where I've walked into stores. I've been alone and been completely ignored, which is usually the way I enjoy shopping because I don't need you buzzing around me. But when I'm ready to pay, I can't find a single person
at all.
But let me walk toward the door.
Oh, then they all come.
Can I help you with something? No, I've already put it back. I've decided you can't have my money now. Yeah. I've decided. But then I walk into that same store with my white boyfriend. And we can't get 3 feet in without some hoochie wanting to help us out.
Or if there is a group of black people. Yeah.
Well, if it's a group,
or two
I don't know if you remember this, but I was telling Scott this the other night. When I was back in Denver, and more than, because there's only a handful of us, so anytime one of us would walk into a room and there was more than four, the running joke was one of us has to leave.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's too many black people in here.
There's too many black people in here, they're gonna call the cops.
Totally. It's still that when I'm on the microphone, I actively count how many black heads I see, black faces I see, and I make sure to give them a call out, make sure that I see them, that I'm going to make sure that they have a good time. Because yeah, I go out of my way to make sure black people are seen and taken care of. I will go out of my fucking way.
Now, that leads me to my next question. Talk about racism under the wig, like while you're in drag, working and stuff. Because I had Venus on, and she tiptoed around because she's trying to be auntie, and I love Venus. I love Venus.
Yeah, I do too.
So I feel like I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I've gotten "you're pretty for a black girl" many times.
Oh, I got that all the time. I still get that one.
Yeah, you're so pretty. You're so black. Not you're so black, but you're pretty for a black girl. And if I like black girls, and I'm like, wow, okay. But so that's one aspect. But as a black queen working a white audience, I have to do the most. I literally have to be fucking Beyonce and Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson and all the greatest entertainers in one. When my white counterpart can walk around and point and make the most fucking money and I'm backstage dying because I'm out of breath. I'm like, I just did a splits. I did a splits, and I never done a splits before in my life. I did a backflip. You see, I jumped out that moving building, that moving car. I jumped off the moving car, but jumping on bars. Pointing. Yeah, jumping on bars and shit, like literally, like. Risking our lives for $1. For $1.
Do you notice a change since the popularity of Drag Race?
Yeah, they still want more. But now they want more of it, but they wanted it to look expensive. But yeah, as far as excuse me.
Well, yeah, because what I'm noticing is, I'll see like a up and coming black girl, and 2 seasons later, I'll see that same style of drag, just with a white face hair, and then that white queen goes to top 3 when that black girl got kicked off 2 seasons ago in like the first minute she was there. So that's what I'm talking.
Oh yeah. That happens here locally. There's been shit that I've done. Well, I've been in the game for 20 years. So I've seen a lot of queens come and go. I raised a lot of these bitches here in Denver. Bitches, I love you. That means in a good way. But yeah, I helped raise a lot of these girls here in Denver. And a lot of them haven't seen what I have done. And shit that I have done is being done, like you said, by what? Perfect example: Grace Jones, Lady Gaga.
Yep.
Grace Jones did everything that Lady Gaga is doing,
and was dragged for it. They called her a man. They told her she was ugly. They told her she was stupid. They told her she wasn't talented.
Yes, her color, the way you dress, everything. But Lady Gaga does it, and she's praised for her because she's a genius. But yeah, so that's just correlate that into the drag world, and that's exactly how it is.
We won't even talk about how many people have stolen from Miss Sylvester, but that's
God. Yeah.
We won't even talk about that.
We could.
And we won't even talk about how many things were stolen from the black trans girls out here.
Yeah.
We won't even
Yeah.
talk about that. Namely, they're all of their looks.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now I turn on a housewife anywhere, and those bodies, those faces, I've seen those faces 20 years ago on T Girls in Texas.
Yeah. It's women are taking a lot of things from like you say, black trans women.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the the way we dress, just the swag in general, makeup, hair, nails, done. Because we have to make ourselves look more womanly. And now a lot of these women look like drag queens on TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And walking around these streets.
Yeah.
And walking around these streets.
Uh-huh.
I was at the
And
grocery store the other day. This girl had on like 9 pounds of makeup, lashes so long she couldn't even open her eyes.
yeah. And then have us do it and we're talked about.
Then you can't get a job.
At all. At all. Don't they say, well, what do? I do drag. I'm like, well, that's not really what are you gonna it's
When
oh
you've been in,
shit.
that's really interesting. You've been in the game for 20 years.
Hmm.
How'd you start drag?
It was all by accident, really. A friend of mine, good friend David, back in El Paso, he was having a drag show for his birthday. He was the manager of a gay bar at San Antonio Mining Company, and one of the queens had dropped out. And he said if he could find someone to put me in drag, would I do it? Because he knew I knew Janet Jackson. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, just do Janet Jackson. I said, okay, great. So I got done up and I did my Janet Jackson, and then I kind of that was it. That was pretty much it. I got bit by the drag bug. I
Mm-hmm.
did Janet first, then Missy,
Mm-hmm.
and when after I did Missy, I said, I could do this. I could do this. But that was again 20 years ago.
What went? What and when brought you to Denver?
Shit, nothing. I like to take chances. To what I moved here at December 17th, 2003. I remember the day. But what made me move here was two of my best buddies at the time, Matt and Vince. They said, hey, we're moving to Denver. Do you want to go? And there was nothing going on for me in El Paso. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, yeah. And then 2 months later, uh, here I was.
Wow.
Yeah, there was nothing holding me back, but friends, family, and clothes. Yeah, in El Paso, that's all I had was friends, family, and clothes. So I'm like, well,
Well, I could get friends, family, and clothes in Denver.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's pretty much what happened, and it was one of the best decisions I've done. Um, Granted, I'd probably still be doing drag in El Paso, but it'd be a different route. I'd probably be a pageant queen because I started out as a pageant queen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably still be doing that. That's
I
how you get seen.
Many years ago, I worked as a um, well, we figured out I was a go-go boy, but I started working for a drag queen as her choreographer and dressmaker. Her name was Rebecca Ryan, and we went on tour. One of the times we went down to this pageant in Texas. I
Hmm.
feel like it was San Antonio. And what I saw was the most beautiful illusions I had ever seen in
Yeah,
my life.
yeah.
What I
I have.
also saw was the separation of us. Now, Rebecca was a white queen. Um, I am not. Uh, and the other dancer, the other guy on stage with us, was a Latin guy. And so when we show up to this pageant to participate, Rebecca got kicked out immediately because we were not prepared for those girls in Texas. We were not prepared.
Yeah, They didn't. I wasn't
They
prepared
did
growing
not
up there
play.
at all.
There
And
was a
like you,
queen who came out on stage and changed clothes on stage 7 times.
mm,
7 times. Each dress was more expensive than the last one.
yeah.
She was
See,
doing something in red by Lori Morgan.
okay, okay.
It was
Were the
very cute.
were the dresses all red?
No, looking for
No,
something
okay.
in red, looking for something in
Oh,
blue.
that's right. I
Yeah,
forget the
she
lyrics. Okay.
changes clothes. Like every time Lori would say something, she would just walk around, and then she had a team of dressers back there and just trap her into a new dress, and she'd stand out. It was beautiful. It was
Hell yeah.
beautiful. Anyway, bring this story up to say that when the time that I was in the pageant world, I also noticed the segregation there.
Yes.
How do you think we get somewhere different than we are?
Then versus now?
Yeah, like how do you think we get to a point where as a black person you don't feel like you're having to defend your blackness every single moment of your life?
Unfortunately, Jonathan, I don't think that's going to happen in our lifetime.
You don't think so?
I do not. Because there's people our age that are still feeling their way, and it's still, and they're still teaching their children their way. So it's going to be a while before what's the way it should be, like you said, where we don't have to defend ourselves anymore, our blackness to anyone without
Mm-hmm.
being looked at crazy or whatever. It's I hate to sound so pessimistic. It's not going to happen for us. It will happen
I
eventually once all the races start to mesh and melt together, because that's what it's going to take, is for everyone to start fucking everybody and start having these beautiful, mixed babies. You know,
you know, I find it Sam's husband, who has his black friend. I don't sorry, I didn't mean to air quote his black friend as if his black friend doesn't exist. I know
no,
according to you, the person actually does exist.
yes,
And I don't want to question that person's blackness by any form of the imagination. But it's having been in both parts of that conversation. I've been where you are having to defend my blackness in front of white folks. And I've
yes,
also been in a situation where the person that I am closest to has anti-black. Um,
thoughts or
yes, and we're going to call them anti-black thoughts, even though I know that they're racist. I knew that they were, and the when I would hear these things, they weren't in my head, they weren't directed at me. They were directed at those other black people. And in my head, I was separating myself because in my head, I thought that I was different than them because I wasn't one of them.
yeah,
And I put up with that until I couldn't anymore. And I know that when I was at that point where I would accept that, I would make never contradict a racist thing that my white friend that gave me some sort of status um, said. I would never question it. It's, oh, he's just kidding. You know, he doesn't mean it, is
yeah,
what I would say.
yeah.
Oh, ha
But
ha ha ha. I laugh my way through some of these uncomfortable. Oh my God, you're so articulate for a black guy. I know. They even taught me how to read in Mississippi, is what I would say.
yeah, yeah, because
Or I would say when I would always have people ask me if I want to go swimming or some shit like that. And my response to that was after that long boat ride, black people don't like large bodies of water.
Yeah, as we have to joke about this.
And I would joke my way through the fact that you are hurting me. And I didn't know that I had the power to say that you are hurting me. Your words, your rhetoric, your joke, it's all hurting me. And if you value me as a friend, you shouldn't knowingly hurt me.
Yes. Yeah. Shit. Okay. Just want to make you clear. Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm going to touch on a couple of things. Not saying Sam's husband is a racist.
No, no,
Not
no,
at
no,
all.
no, no.
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
what I'm saying. I'm
No,
not
no, no,
saying.
no, no. I just want him to
Oh, okay.
because if you watch it, if he's watching, if you're watching, I'm not calling you a racist, but there are some issues that you have to work on when you can't get mad at a black person
Have you read a book
when they tell
called
you.
White Fragility?
I've not, but I need to.
It's a really interesting book by a woman named Dr. Robin DiAngelo, I believe is her last name.
Mhm.
And it's a white book. It's a book about race written by a white woman for white people.
Okay.
And I read it, and
Mhm.
here I am reading this book, and I'm like, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what I then did was had my white boyfriend read this book, and he's all like, oh, I do that. Oh yeah, Then I had one of my, I do a show every other week called Comfortably Uncomfortable Conversations, where I try to normalize conversations about race. Um, and I had my co-host, this beautiful human by the name of Michael Hager, who's a white fella. I was like, read this book. So he reads the book and he's all like, and then his other half, who's also named Michael, read the book. And I think that hey, just read this book. Read this book, and I want to talk. Um, that was how I was able. I even gave it to a friend of mine, a dear, dear, dear friend. Did you know Russell Barlow when he lived in Denver? Used to work at
Um,
JR's with Jack.
I don't believe so.
Doesn't matter. Russell's from Shreveport, Louisiana. Nope, that's not true. He's from DeQuincy, Louisiana. And he's from that environment of the southern when we were, and he's around our age, so when we were raised in that I don't see color environment, which
Mhm.
basically taught us how to be racist. But no, when you're raised in a I don't see color environment, and all of your input is white reflecting, it is
Yes,
subconsciously reinforcing the negative associations with black and brownness.
makes perfect sense.
That's what I don't see color does. Whenever someone tells you I don't see color, what they're doing is negating the fact that you are black. And when you negate my blackness, you negate the struggle that it took me. Maybe it didn't take me a struggle in the truest sense of struggle, but it may not
But
have been
it's
as
still a
easy as you.
struggle.
Yeah, it's still a
Yes.
struggle. A struggle is a struggle.
Yes.
And when you
May
tell me
not be
you
the
don't,
struggle you think of.
when you say, oh, I don't even see you as black, well, what the fuck am I then?
Yes. Because everyone
if
else
you if
does.
you if you are able to erase out my color, you erase out one of the most powerful things about me. All of the interesting things about me are because of my
Because
blackness.
I'm black. Yes.
Because of my blackness. The way I see the world
I
is
wouldn't be who I
because
am
of my
today if I
blackness.
wasn't black.
Exactly. I wouldn't be this
Yes.
beautiful human you see before you if because of my blackness you can think that.
Yes.
So that the colorblind um mindset is whenever I hear that told to me is what registers in my head. When you say I don't see color, you're erasing my culture.
Yes, I could see how they would say, I don't see color as a good thing. Um, how I'm trying to be an ally. I don't say, yeah, I don't see you're black, but like you said, you're taking away our color that makes us who we are.
Hmm. It's a part of who we are. It might not be all of who we are, but
No, yeah,
it is an important part of who I am. My black is attached to who I am.
yes, yes,
Just
it
like
helped.
just like you're white and you're Asian and you're Native American and you're Mexican American, you're Costa Rican American, you're Native Alaskan, whatever, that is associated with who you are.
Yes,
And
and
when I
it
look at you,
shapes.
yeah, when I look, I say, well, look at this beautiful, beautiful human. And
Yes,
I acknowledge the fact that you're a beautiful caramel human. And I say, okay, let's unpack. Let's unpack.
yeah,
And there may be something in our exchange that I say, I don't like this bitch. But it has nothing to do with how you're packaged. It could just be about, I don't like you.
yes, and how you treat me, how you talk, your tone of voice, how
Mm-hmm.
you just are as a person in general. That's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's never going to be. Like I said earlier, it's not going to happen in our lifetime frame.
I I'm very, 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 maybe I live in a different bubble than you.
Okay.
Um, I am optimistic that if I walk into the world and I choose to see it the way that whether you treat me as an equal or not, I'm going to demand that you do.
Okay. Yeah, but see, that's the thing.
I'm
We
going to
shouldn't have
take,
to demand
I shouldn't
anything.
have to take up, I shouldn't have to, but I do. And then there's also something that I'm learning as a black man, we're never encouraged to take up space.
Oh, yeah. I take
And
up as little space as possible.
really, I take up as much.
Yeah, I'm always just I'm already yeah. I don't need any more attention.
Do you find, because I used to do this too. We're walking down the street, and because you're walking down the street, you're minding your own business, you look up and you're like, ooh, look, a white lady. Do you cross the street?
You know, I used to, but now I just moved to the side.
Now you move to the side?
I moved to the side. I don't cross the street anymore, but I will make sure I make this individual know that I am not a threat. Still,
I
I
The only time I do it now is at night,
okay.
because I know that I will never ever know what it's like to walk around while female.
Hmm.
And I know I've watched enough Law and Order to realize that men are disgusting.
Yeah, I try not
And
to even walk behind a woman for that reason
yeah,
alone.
I intentionally make it a point. Like if it's at nighttime and I'm all like, oh no, I don't care. White woman, black woman, Latin woman, Asian woman, I'm crossing the street because I don't want her to feel as if I'm a threat to her.
Yeah.
Um, but during the daytime, girl, fuck off.
Okay.
If it's broad daylight,
Mhm.
I'm just minding my own business and I'm going to where I'm going to go. I'm not going to inconvenience myself to make you feel comfortable. But at
See,
nighttime, that's different.
oh yeah, nighttime definitely.
Because
Daytime,
mama didn't raise a garbage human.
no, she did. Of course
She
not.
did not. I have to be a lady and a gentleman at all times.
Yes, Jonathan.
It
But
is exhausting, honey.
I'm living proof. I'm living proof. But yeah, I like you said, I try not to walk behind a woman at all in general.
Hmm.
If we're going in the same direction, and I know my house is going to be here on the left,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
this person is going to be in front of me the whole time. I slow down just so that she doesn't feel threatened. If one's coming my way, I don't cross the street anymore, but I will, step aside a couple feet, 3, 4 feet, you know, so they can have the right of way.
I will. There's only one time that I can remember in recent years that. Well, I ask another question. What about white men?
Do I?
Namely,
No.
straight white men. Gays are different because I feel like they're. That's a different set of problems. But
You know, sometimes I find myself doing it for my safety.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not because I'm feel like I'm threatening them, but I feel threatened.
Right after, you
Isn't that
remember
some shit?
a couple of years back, it was 2017, the Unite the Night rally with the tiki torches and the white supremacists down.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, at that time, I was working on Wall Street, was making suits on Wall Street, honey. Fancy
Yeah, I
living.
remember.
And I'm getting off work one night. I closed up the shop. The shop at the time was 1 block away from the New York Stock Exchange.
Oh,
So fancy.
yeah.
I only reiterate that to explain the rest of the story.
No,
So
yeah, it's parlays.
I locked the store up, and I'm walking down to the train, and the train is like 6 blocks away, and it's a pretty night out. So I'm just kind of casually strolling, and I'm walking, and I've just finished my day, and it was a good day. I saw some of my favorite clients. Measured some very interesting and very handsome men. I made it a point to only have handsome clients.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I made it a point. Every time they walked in, I was like, you can take him.
No.
Anyway, I wanted look, if you're going to look at my work, I want you to see a handsome fella while draped in my beautiful work.
For sure.
Anyway, so here I am walking. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, he did. I can't wait for that suit to get back. Blah 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 blah. So as I look down, there are 5 white guys in white polo shirts, and khakis approaching me, and I swear to God, my blood ran cold.
Yeah, that's
My
scary.
blood ran ice cold. And all I could hear, strangely enough, is Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday playing in my head. That's all I could hear.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked up, and before they noticed me, I crossed the street. And I just like walked slow, and I kept my eye on it. They were paying me never mind. But I had never, that was so surprising that I felt that way so quickly after that, because I think that was like the next day or 2 days after or something like that. But it was a very, very unnerving feeling.
Yeah. It sucks to have to feel that we have to walk just like the women walk across the street
On
so
pins and needles.
I feel so I'm safe, you know what I mean, because I don't know if this man is going to tag me for being a black gay man.
Is it easier for you when you're in face, or harder?
In face, I try not to walk down the street a whole lot when in face, and if I'm in face, it's usually from the car to the venue, and in those instances I dress down, like I literally make myself look like I'm homeless.
Okay.
So that I hate to say it because no one wants to mess with a homeless person. Homeless people aren't people apparently. So I dress homeless, so I am not harassed by anyone.
Have you been before?
Oh yeah, many times. Not so much anymore because I use the hoodies. I really cover everything.
I remember when I was there, you would always come in, you'd have your face beat, but you'd be in straight like boy clothes, like dirty sweats and stuff,
Yeah, I
and
still
then
wear
you
the
come
dirty
in,
sweats and
do a
Crocs.
quick Wonder Woman spin, and you're like, felony,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I still do that. I feel it's safer for me to walk around looking like that. Because I hear so many of my sisters who have been harassed, you
Hmm.
know, walking down the street, but they're all done up and in their heels and their fabulous attire.
Hmm.
And I hate to say it, they, how people ask for it. They weren't asking for it, but that's the way society, the way those fuckers think. She was asking for it.
Isn't that disgusting?
It is very disgusting.
That is something some stupid ass man thought of.
Yeah, it is. And it is a stupid ass man that was the way they're thinking. She asked for it. She's dressed like that.
And some
And
stupid ass woman co-signed on it.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. And so like in order for me to, like I was saying, to prevent anything, because if I'm a pop off,
Hmm.
if anything is said to me, I'm a pop off, and I'm just trying to prevent myself from getting killed.
That's the same thing Venus said. That is
Yeah.
the exact same thing. Um, she was telling me that there would be times where she'd be out and people would say the most disrespectful things.
Yeah.
And it would always be at one point, this isn't about Venus, but at one point I
Oh yeah.
knew this other um, black, I don't know their gender expression, so I'll just say a black human who dressed, and they were telling me how white men who identified as straight would um stalk them, um come after them, harass and hurt them,
Oh
or
yeah.
then try to possess them. And
It's like a fetish. It's a sick fetish. It's a sick fetish. There's this gentleman who I he contacts me on many forms of social media, and I'm blocking them all the time. We started out as we. I'm not gonna lie, we hooked up. Oh yeah, he
mhm.
cool. But then all of a sudden, like he called me a nigga. Like, oh wait a minute, no, we can't do this anymore.
No,
But
no.
yet, no, yeah, but still to this day, this is years. This fucker is still contacting me through different social medias, and his name is Jim. I've talked about Jim before in this house.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so and he's quick to call me X, Y, and Z, but also at the same time can't wait to be with me.
Hmm.
And it's some kind of sick fetishism that can't wrap my I can't grasp. I can't wrap my head around it.
Because
Like
it has
how
nothing
can
to do with you.
yeah, yeah,
It has
you're right.
nothing to do with you.
You're fucking right. But yeah, it's like like fucking nigga, I can't wait to suck your dick. It's not like that, but that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, yeah.
You know what? If he is of a certain age, you know that there have been people in his life that have co-signed on that shit too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I tell you, I don't know how to get rid of him. Like you said, stalking. I don't know how to get rid of him because
I
I don't know how to get rid of him. I really wish. I
let
don't
me
know.
let me tell you no, let me tell you about my funniest stalking story, because um I don't think anyone would ever say that, but years ago I was living on 13th and Race,
Mhm.
and this was probably early 2000s. And I had gone on a date with somebody, and this guy, no, that's not true. I went and had, no. Anyway, I met this guy. We'll call him Peter. It's
Peter.
not his real name, but we're going to call him
We'll
Peter.
call him Peter.
We're going to call him Peter. Now, Peter says to me at a bar at Charlie's one night. I'm sitting at Charlie's and Peter sends over a drink. And I'm all like, oh, okay, that's nice. So I drink my drink and then Peter sends over another drink. And Peter sends over a third drink. Then Peter finally has the nerves to come over to the table. He's all like, I sent you all them drinks. So let's do it. I was like, Peter, come with me. I walked Peter. This was back when I was super mean. So I walked Peter to the bathroom in Charlie's, and he's getting super excited. And we stopped right at the mirror. Face him in the mirror. I was like, Peter, take a look at yourself. Now take a look at me. You know these things don't add up. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks for the drinks.
Thank you for the drinks. I really appreciate it. So I go back and I'm sitting down. A couple weeks later, I'm at dinner with a friend. We were at Angelo's on 6th and Grant or something. So we're sitting there, and out of the corner of my eye, who do I see?
Peter.
And I'm eating my food. And I'm all like, oh, here's Peter. And my friend and I finish dinner. I go home. My friend goes home. On my front door. I lived in a secured building. There was only 2 ways in, and you needed a buzzer or a key to get into either of them. And I lived on the 4th floor.
Like, who the hell? Yeah, I'm not expecting no company.
Now, I was 27, 28, somewhere in there. And Peter was in his mid to late 30s. Third knock. I'm all like, okay, so I open the door. Here's Peter. Who you at dinner with? What? I didn't give you permission to go on dinner with anybody. Okay, I'm done. So as I go close the door, Peter elbows his way into my house. Peter elbows his way into my house. Peter is brandishing a knife in my house. And I look at Peter and I'm all like, girl, how can I, what's going on? What are you doing? Well, I don't understand. He's pacing back and forth. And here I am, just calm as a cucumber. I don't know why my body does this, but every time this happens, I'm always as calm as a cucumber. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Well, I don't understand why you don't want me. You're fucking N-word, and you should be lucky that I'm even paying attention to you. And he's pacing back and forth. And I was like, you know what, Peter? You're right. I should be with you. Let me call the justice of the peace right now. Get him on the line. That's right. We're going to get married and we're going to be together. Blah, 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 blah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Hello. No, yeah, girl. No. Yeah. 13th and race. No, we're going to be here. So, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to trust me. He'll be right here. Close the phone. I was like, okay, Peter, I'm going to go get dressed now. He says, I want you to wear that blue suit that I like. Oh, you know I have a blue suit? Yeah, you just got it. I did actually. You got it on Thursday. I did actually. Good job, Peter. So I go put this suit on. And right as I'm coming out of my bedroom, open the door, and there are the cops.
Oh, that's scary.
I know.
Yeah, I have no words. That's fucking scary. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, that's That's different level.
That was, if it hadn't been, that was the second time someone had taken my, wanted to take control of my life. Wouldn't be the last, but it was the second time. And it was weird. And when the cops showed up and they trucked him away, and they're all like, and here are the cops asking me, well, what did you do? I was like, dude, this is my house. Why did you invite him in? How did you must have buzzed him in. No, I did not. Why did you open the door? He was standing outside with a knife. I didn't want him to stab one of my neighbors. How'd you know he wasn't going to stab you? He wasn't going to stab me. He was not going to stab me. He's just a sick man who thought that I belonged to him. That's all. I would really like you to get him some help.
Wow.
And then I call my friend for some sympathy. And what does he do? Laugh his ass off. Oh, that's funny. Look at you, you mandingo.
What? He's not your friend anymore, right?
Oh God, no. No.
Okay.
That was yeah. But
No, yeah, and yeah, that's what we're reduced to.
Mhm.
That's what we're reduced to. Yeah. 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 It's we are. Yeah. I sorry. I don't know what to fucking say. I really don't.
I laugh about it now, and
Because we have to.
when they all left my house and I was there alone, and I was in my apartment alone, and I went into the bathroom and I took a shower. And in the shower, it was a mixture of, are you fucking kidding me? And did I just dream this? This can't be real.
Yeah.
Who gets stalked? Who stalks anymore? Granted, it was back in the time when people were stalking, but like, who would stalk me? Girl, calm down. Calm down. I didn't want to have a conversation with you, and I may have humiliated you in a way, but that didn't give you the license to show up at my house to stab me.
Yeah.
It didn't give you that license.
We're less than. So, and in some weird way, that's the way he was thinking. You know, I guess he's used to black people being owned anyway, so maybe that's what he was probably thinking.
What's real funny about it is I think that if I would have reacted differently, he would have killed me.
Yeah.
I think that if I would have reacted differently, I would have been dead.
Yeah.
And I think that's why my body naturally goes into that. I'm always the calmest person in the world when there's like calamity
Danger.
going on. Yeah, I'm the calmest person in the world. My brain's all like, okay, girl, we're going to get you out of this. Later, you're going to laugh your ass about it. But right now, we have to find the most logical way to exit this situation. And the most logical way was to invite him in. The most logical way was to agree with everything he said. The most logical thing was to call the cops, even though I knew that the cops were going to have lots of questions for me.
Yeah.
Even though I knew the cops were going to try to find justifications for why it was my fault that this man tried to kill me in my house.
Totally. What did you do?
What did I do?
What did you do? Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah. It's always, what did you do?
Did you lead him on? What were you wearing?
Mm-hmm.
I was in my house. I could have been in a tube top and high heels if I wanted to be. It's my house.
Yes.
I wasn't. It was something sexier.
Good. I wouldn't expect anything less. I wouldn't expect anything less. But man.
Yeah. That was
scary.
what I learned from all of this is there is a way that we can find our, we have to find a way past this all. We have to.
We have to.
And the way it starts is by having conversations. Simple, easy conversations, just like what you and I are having, because the next time you're in a conversation with somebody, you can say, you know what, I heard this really interesting story about blah, blah, blah. Like this conversation, what's going on with you and Sam and his husband. I'm very interested to, I think that if you can find a way to recommend that book, it might be a way to open up a conversation that is long overdue.
There's another book that let me see if I can pull it up for you. But yes, White Fragility, that's the name of the book you were telling me about?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. There's another. Shit.
If it's How to Be an Anti-Racist, that's also a good one.
It's you know, if you want to send me links to all these, that would be
absolutely
great.
I will send you books. I will send you links to all of my favorite anti-racist books.
Here we go. Downloads. Because I seen this on Instagram. Someone was reading it on Instagram, and I felt this would be great for my white friends to read. But no, I can't seem to find it. Shit. I took a screenshot of it just so I wouldn't forget. And here I am. Well, you know, I'll find what it is, Jonathan.
Okay.
And it's about, God damn it.
I've got it. Give me 2 seconds.
I don't remember. But it's on how to be a better
ally,
white person to black people.
Oh.
Yes. Or be a better friend. God, what the hell? See, now I feel I'm not, I don't want to give you the wrong title.
It's okay.
I'll find it. I will. And is this it? No, it's not. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll find it and I'll send
Okay.
you the link.
Absolutely.
But it's supposed to be a good book.
Yeah. There's also another there's an author, professor, journalist by the name of Ijama Oluo. She has a great book called So You Want to Talk About Race? Written by, her writing is hilarious.
Okay. You know, humor will get things across much easier than it will. Like my mom said, you get a lot more with hugging than you do with sugar. I mean, salt.
With
or something like with vinegar. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, with vinegar.
Damn it, I can't find it. There it is. It's called The Black Friend on Being a Better White Person by Frederick Joseph.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read that for myself. I'm gonna recommend it to my friends, and then I'm also gonna recommend it to you too.
Okay. And I'm also gonna recommend yet again White Fragility. It's
White
a
Fragility.
great opening book for broaching the subject of race with white people, because the way that she writes this book, it's not for us.
Yes.
But I wanted to read it before I recommended it to any of my white friends wanting to start their journey toward anti-racism.
By Robin DiAngelo, correct?
Yes, Robin DiAngelo, that's her name.
Okay. Perfect.
Great book.
Perfect. Yes, I will read this and listen to it before I have my white friends read it.
Amazing. Well,
So
darling, tell me where we all can find you, your Instagram and what happens.
You can find my Instagram handle is, I think everything is Felony Misdemeanor. Instagram, Twitter,
OnlyFans?
Snapchat. Not yet. I have a feeling I might have to do that because I'm broke.
Girl, girl.
I'm gonna find out those people who love BBCs and use them to my advantage.
Shoot.
Because they fetishize us. Might as well take their
Mhm.
money. Might as well
That's-
take their money.
That's another conversation that I can't wait to have. Oh, side note, do you know that just today or yesterday, they legalized marijuana in New Jersey?
Did they?
Finally.
Finally, yeah, they
Finally.
needed that in New Jersey.
They need that in New Jersey.
They need that everywhere.
I think so as well. I feel like we should have it nationwide because it was only made illegal because of
Hey, yeah, we know the story.
we know the story.
I know the story.
And then the
Yeah.
minute it becomes legal, we need to get all of those black and brown people who are rotting in jail right now for misdemeanor, like 1 or 2 or 3 joints. They're in jail for 20 years. When
Yeah.
Chet has a half a kilo and he gets a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. I was one of those people that went to jail for a whole day for a seed, a marijuana seed.
For a
Didn't even know.
seed?
A fucking seed, a marijuana seed in my car. I didn't even know I had it. Had I known it, I would have did like this. Boop. No,
Seed.
A seed got pulled over just because I smelled like pot. They called the police, the police dogs and everything, and had the dog search my car, and the dog sniffing and found a seed and his flashlight. He got a flashlight and he pulled out a seed and took my ass to jail. Yeah. Now, if I were white, but it had happened that way,
No.
maybe not.
No.
Yeah, no, wasn't you right?
No.
It wouldn't have.
You know it wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have, especially in Texas.
You know it wouldn't have been. I have been in a room with more drugs than I've ever seen in my life, and I've also been the only black person there. And I'm saying to myself, "Girl, you gotta leave because the minute a cop shows up, you're the only one going to jail."
Yeah.
I'm the only one that would go to jail. So what did I do? Collected my little purse and I left.
I'm out of here.
I was like, no, y'all can. It was a party, a fashion party when I came to New York many years ago. There was this party at a denim brand. It was real cute, music, models all around. I was like, oh yeah, she's feeling it. I walk into this back room, Felony. I open the door. I have never seen so much cocaine in my life. It was just like piles and piles and mounds of coke, and these skinny models just lined up, snorting and snorting and snorting. And these skeevy old men, these old rich men, and these young girls, just like they want the coke and these old dudes want them, and they're just throwing money. And I'm like, I gotta go. Like, this is not where I should be. Jesus doesn't want me here
at all.
So I went home. By way of the bar and drank a little bit, but I went home. I know I didn't need to be there because I said to myself, I looked around the room. Went to the other room, looked around. There's only like 5 of us in a room of like 1,600 people. I was like,
yeah,
I'm not doing that. I've made it this long in my life without a felony.
I'm not doing it now.
I'm not doing it. That's just like me turning 50 years old and developing a meth habit. I don't have time for that. Who starts meth at 50?
Oh shit! Not me. You better not.
Who does that? If anything, it'll be an opioid like a rich white lady.
Oh, see that I could get behind. Just kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. Because that means I could afford it.
Look, I got health insurance. I'm taking opioids, girl.
I know that's wrong. Lord, forgive me.
Well, darling, thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you. We know we could talk more. There's plenty we could talk about later.
I know.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
got, but
I'm
like,
having this, I'm trying to put together a panel of black fellas and non-binary humans about the fetishizing of black and brown bodies.
oh, we could talk about that. Jackie Summers is a perfect example.
You cannot start this you go.
Sorry.
Say no, you need to justify what you had just said.
Yeah, well, she's always brown boys this, black boys this. She always wants the brown dick, and but well, the first one to her and I had an issue. She called me Negroid. Hey, Negroid. And I was like, hey, no, don't call me that.
No, ma'am.
She said it a few more times, Negroid, then she resorted to Negro. So I'm like, okay. So yes, she's always been like that, but she tried it with me. But yeah, she really, if I've worked with her for many years, and she really sexualizes and fetishizes blacks and Latino dick. She doesn't care who's behind the
You
person.
are
She doesn't care. She just wants the black and Latino dick, because there's no way she would take said dick home to her mother.
you're not wrong in any of that. Um yeah,
I mean, I understand we all have, I guess, a preference, but no,
Nope.
not like no,
Nope. I
no.
don't. You know what a preference is? I like a funny guy as opposed to a serious guy. That's a preference.
I like cold gazpacho versus hot gazpacho.
Yeah. Rate dating someone based on their race is not a preference. That's racism.
Oh yeah, yeah, and she wasn't even dating him; she was just fucking him.
Yeah,
Because of
and
the
dating and having sex with someone just because of their race is a fetish.
Yeah, yeah, it sure is, and yeah, she's like that, and we're not friends anymore because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and also being a person who dresses, I get it also, from the cisgender community, the men who I
Mm-hmm.
was saying, with black trans, they see black woman and that's all they want, black woman, black dick.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care who's behind, don't care if I'm a person or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you're trying to close up. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. That's absolutely how does that make you feel?
uh, you know, it's starting to make me bitter. It is. I'm not gonna lie. It's making me a bitter person because I know how fucking great I am,
Mm-hmm.
and just to be reduced down to a black person, a black woman, or a black person with a dick, a BBC, to be reduced to that is just stupid. I absolutely hate it, and also, yeah, yeah, it's just there's so much more to me than my penis.
Absolutely. And it's the hardest thing to digest is when you realize that all of the attention you're receiving has nothing to do with your personality.
At all.
It has nothing to do with your impeccable sense of style.
At all.
It has nothing to do with your incredible sense of humor.
Not at all.
It has only to do with my or
What's
your
it? What's between your
race.
legs? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Black and
And but you know that only that's a 400 plus year old stereotype.
Oh yeah, you
It's a
said it earlier.
400
Mandingo.
Yes, it's almost a 500-year-old stereotype that we're continuing to perpetuate. We're continuing to greenlight this. We're continuing to accept this.
And it's important It's ebony this, black that, a black dick, white girl, white man and ebony enchantress. It's black, interracial black dick, white ass. I'm like,
It's a little dehumanizing for everyone.
yeah, thugs, you know, thug gangbang. A bunch of black dudes gangbanging a white girl, but it's called a thug gangbang.
Hmm. Hmm.
What do they say about white people? That's just a gangbang.
And how, there's so many questions. I have more questions than anything, namely for the other person. It's like, what is it? Why do you think that I'm only this?
Yeah, I'm here for your sexual gratification only.
Or yeah, I'm here for I'm like I like to read. Did you know that? Do you know that I read a lot? Oh,
Hmm.
I don't care. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that I love to travel? Do you know
Let
that
me
I'm
see.
an incredible cook? Do you know that moms fucking love me?
Nope.
Oh, you don't care? Oh, wait, I'm never
Mm.
going to meet your mother anyway. Oh, and I'm
Yeah.
never going to
Yeah.
meet your
Oh,
friends.
you're never going to meet their mother. Mm-mm.
Well, I'm very fortunate to have um as my partner someone who is so beyond that, all of that nonsense.
Yeah, you are. He's a great man. From what I see, tell him I said hello. Hi, husband. If he could hear.
But you know what's really the most interesting thing about him is his parents. His parents are magnificent humans. They are so open and interested and charming and inquisitive. And like his mom right now is sending over like Black history facts to Scott, saying, hey, did Jonathan know about this one? Or did Jonathan, I found this and I researched that. And did you know that this? And did you know about the education system in the country? And let me send you this website about how to make children, how anti-racist children education looks like. And it's I couldn't ask for anything more. I couldn't ask for anything better. His parents are wonderful.
Good. Hell yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that they're both clinical psychologists.
Oh, well,
That doesn't hurt at all.
at all. Well, shit. Yeah, they know what's up.
Yeah, they managed to raise a very emotionally intelligent human being.
Good. Not many people could be so lucky.
I know. I count my blessings every day, but every time I think when we're watching something, we're watching a movie or something, he's all like, oh God, not another movie about a boring white guy who's saving the world. He's barely
Oh.
mediocre. And blah. I was like, oh shit, I've broken my boyfriend. Broken my boyfriend. He's able to see the world for how it really is. He's watching the news. He's all like, oh wait, let me guess, these cops are gonna get off. Oh, that sounds about white. I was like,
Oh
yep,
yeah. Yeah.
yep, that
Yeah.
sounds about white.
Mhm.
Just before I got on the call, some police murdered this guy uh last year, March 23rd of last year. They got off.
Oh, did they? Is
Oh
that?
yeah, they got off. And today, which is February 23rd, is the 1 year on it anniversary of Ahmaud Arbery's murder.
Oh my God, it is.
Today is the 1 year anniversary.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's something to think about.
Yep. So, for the sake of these beautiful souls who are no longer here anymore, it is our obligation to fight their fight since they can't anymore. It is our obligation.
It is.
to be their voice because they don't have it anymore.
No matter how loud or soft our voice is.
If you're uncomfortable, so what?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay for you to be uncomfortable. Be uncomfortable. It'll teach you something.
Yes.
And
Teachers
something that
love
Scott told me a long time ago, white people really don't like being uncomfortable.
They don't.
So we've been uncomfortable for centuries. Centuries. You can be uncomfortable for a little while
For 5 minutes.
while we fill in the gaps of the American history we've been taught. We just need to fill in the gaps. Like, okay, well, there's some missing facts here and there's some missing facts there. Yes, the Declaration of Independence. Yeah. Do you know that all of these guys own this? And what about all of the presidents who owned slaves? And what about the slaves that built this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? What about the 40 acres and a mule? What about Reconstruction? What about this? What about the war on drugs? What about this? And if we put it all out there and you can see it all in black and white, you can't refute
at all
the evidence. And you can't refute the evidence.
It's there.
And if we can look at this, and then we have to look at the fact that these were all voted in. And the reason why they were voted in is because of conversations that people have, and conversations change people's mind, which change the way they vote. So if you're telling me that we're the law and order means anti-black. If we're here for urban development, that's a translation to mean gentrification.
Black neighborhood.
No, if you hear urban development.
Oh yeah.
That's gentrification.
Yes. We're going to change this.
Yes. So if you were just able to hear the words and understand what they mean, you will be able to see the world that we actually live in. And then once you are able to remove that from the veil from your eyes, and you still vote against our interests, what you're telling me is you're actually a racist. That's what you're telling me. All of your words can say one thing, but your vote tells me something else. Totally. Your support tells me something else.
No, yeah, I know. Actions really speak they speak a loud volume.
They sure do.
They speak a loud volume.
All right, darling. We could go on and on and on. You are so fun to talk to.
You too. I miss your face.
I miss your face. Eventually, when everything clears up, I'm trying to get Scott to Colorado. He's never been.
Bring him.
Yeah, he's never been to Colorado, and I want to bring him to Colorado, and I want to take
crazy friends.
I know, right? And I also want to take him to St. Mary's Glacier if it still has snow on it.
Okay.
It's my favorite place. I love, and then we'll go down to the Royal Gorge. I bungee jumped off. I tried to bungee jump off of that many years ago, but they wouldn't let me. So I still want to do that too. So we have a whole Colorado trip planned. It'll be delicious.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to see you then.
All right, babe. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. Take care.
And bye.
Nah.